45, 45, 90 triangles. So we use Pythagorean theorem to find the missing side length on any right triangle. But when it's a special one, a 45, 45, 90, you can use some fun facts. Now, what do we know about squares?
Square.
All sides are congruent. Take a point. 90-degree angles. Take a point. 90-degree angles. The diagonals, what?
The diagonals are congruent.
The diagonals are congruent, and the diagonals also bisect the angles. All right, so the diagonals. Travis, take a point. And Drake, take a point. Bisect the angles. Now, that is very, very, very important, because what did we say right here, the second thing about squares was? 90-degree angles. So let's put a 90-degree angle in each of our boxes. And now what we're going to do is we're going to say that the side length of the square is 1. We're going to call it 1 centimeter. And I want you to draw a diagonal. Just one. Like these. And we're going to call this A, B, C, E. Yep. Just to mess with your brains. I know. Okay, so what our goal is today is to prove the properties of 45, 45, 90 triangles and practice them. Now, if this diagonal bisects our angles, what does it mean the measure of this angle right here is? 45 degrees. And what does it mean the measure of this angle right here is? 45 degrees. Now, if AE is 1 centimeter, what is the measure of AB? 1 centimeter. Now, just in case you can't use your imagination and cover this up, I'm going to do it for you. Now, what kind of triangle do we have right here now? A right triangle. And if I want you to find the diagonal, what would you use to find that missing side? Okay, so A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Work it out. Simplest radical form, no decimals. So excited. Hello.
Hey, I got a test tomorrow?
I get clothes. No.
No.
No, sir.
That's a large, women's large. This is a big one.
Yes. Trying to say I'm chunky?
No. No. You're getting
Thank
chunky.
you.
I mean,
Yes. Oh, thanks. I appreciate this. Thank you so much. No test tomorrow. You're getting chunky. Killing it, Coach. Killing it. All right, where did y'all plug in 1 at? And we don't know what C is, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Oh, look at you guys writing because you didn't work it out without me. Okay, finish working it out. What step are you on, son?
I was doing the 45 to him.
Curtis, we need to learn how to make your notebook pretty but efficient.
No, I'm going to miss it. That's what
All right, what is 1 squared? Okay, and then plus 1 equals C squared, correct? Okay, what's 1 plus 1?
2.
Now, this gives us C squared, but we need the measure of the diagonal. So how do we get rid of that squared? Can you take the square root of 2?
Yes.
No. Didn't I say to leave it in simplest radical form? Okay, so C equals the square root of 2. And it's going to be left. Now, I want you to do the same thing, but with 6 and 6. And I want you to find C. Simplest radical form, no decimals. What, darling? Oh, you want me to shut the door?
No.
I didn't ask you. Or what they're doing that it's whatever. We're gonna be Elsa and let it go. She did. She literally did, and then the whole town was frozen. That was the whole point of the movie. Did y'all get this?
Whoa, look at me go.
Okay, what's 6 squared?
Oh, wait, what?
Okay, baby. It's a triangle, and it's a right triangle, and to find the missing side lengths, we use the Pythagorean theorem, right? It gives you A, B, and C.
But I got 24.
Well, I don't know what to tell you because 6 squared is 36.
Because if you do,
It's 6 squared. It's 6 times 6.
but if it's 12 plus
Boo-boo, it's 6 squared, which is 6 times 6, not 6 times 2.
Good job. Take a point.
Ham sandwich. All right, what is 36 plus 36?
72.
I want someone that's like,
How do we get rid of the squared?
say that.
Okay, now I want it in simplest radical form. What do you think is the biggest perfect square that divides into 72? Drake, don't say anything.
Nice.
Is 36 a perfect square? Where is my... It is. 36 is a perfect squared. And didn't we use 36 to make 72?
Yes.
So it would be 36 times what gives us 72? Okay, what's the square root of 36? So it's 6 root 2 equals C.
I still got that. My calculator does it for me.
Okay, what if I kill your calculator?
I'm gonna go buy another one.
All right, now, do you see how when we had 1, it was root 2 here? And this time we have 6, and it was 6 root 2. It's going to be that every single time. So when you are working these out for a 45, 45, 90, you are going to use that pattern every single time. Now, the x's are going to be the same. So if I made this 10, and this was 10, your hypotenuse is going to be 10 root 2. Every single time on a 45, 45, 90. Every single time. Does everybody understand? Every single time. So if I then give you 5, 5, what's my hypotenuse going to be? 5 root 2. Every single time. If I give you 4 and 4, what's my hypotenuse going to be? Yes, and on 45, 45, 90, they will be the same. Because if your angles are congruent, that means it's an isosceles triangle. So you have to have these congruent. That was a good question. All right, what if it's 3 and 3? What would our hypotenuse be? 3 root 2. Write it down. B. What did I write? Oh, it should be B. I got excited. No, it's me. I took a picture of my notes and forgot to bring them up here. Are we ready? So what if I told you that this was 7 root 2? And that's all I gave you. And I needed you to find x. What would you do? Why would it be 7?
Because it's all the same.
Okay. What if I told you, oh, do I want to go crazy?
Go crazy.
I do. I want to go crazy. If
back here.
they are, and I've lost my train of thought because I know I'm not. Okay, so what if I gave you? Let me change colors on this. If I gave you 4 root 2. That's my hypotenuse. So what would my side lengths be?
4.
Okay. Oh gosh, sorry guys. Then why did it take y'all so long to answer me?
Well, I thought you were going crazy, so I was like,
No, I paused for a second. All right. So now,
what's that name?
okay.
What's that number? Is that
5 root 4. Yeah, that's an 8.
okay.
Sorry, Montez.
This is scaring me. So I think we have to put 14 fives.
No. I hope you don't.
Not Drake.
I hope you don't type it in your calculator like that.
No. What I'm going to show you is a trick I learned in NOM. We know it has to be 5, correct? It has to be something with 5. So let's go ahead and write 5 here.
How is that?
Now, we know it also has to be root 2, correct?
Correct.
What is 14 divided by 2?
78. Oh, it's 7.
Ta-da!
Whoa!
That's it.
Your mom kept the school.
I know. Yes.
Yeah, what if it was
Don't go too crazy.
what if it was like a weird room? Like,
It won't be.
Like 7.
All right, what if it was 2? It won't be because it has to be divided by 2.
Divide 7 by 2.
But it won't be a 3.
Please stop.
Okay, what about this one? Let's everybody take a deep breath. See if you can get it.
Oh no, now I feel dumb because you did it too.
Okay, Heather, tell me. I'm ready.
2 root 5.
Look at you go. Take a point. Okay, now, what if I give you, brace yourselves,
I'm ready.
winter is coming, 6.
Look.
Some of y'all need to watch some Game of Thrones and get educated.
Game of Thrones is so good.
Would it be?
Well, we have to wait till 2019.
Would it be? Okay, so if you have 6, correct? We know that we would have to divide it by root 2. So let's come down here and watch what happens. 6 divided by root 2. You cannot divide by a radical. You cannot divide by a radical. And to kill this radical, you're going to multiply the top and the bottom by root 2. Now just wait. Just hold your horses. Just everybody understand this stuff. Okay, we're trying to kill this radical in the denominator. So you multiply the top and the bottom by root 2. Now, when numbers are under the radical and you're multiplying, you can multiply them together. We cannot multiply the 6 and the 2. Why?
Not the same.
Because they're not in.
The 6 isn't under the radical, they're not the same. So we're going to have 6 root 2 on top. What is 2 times 2? What's the square root of 4? Boom.
Oh, my Lord.
I know. And then what's 6 divided by 2?
3. Oh, 30.
So you cut it in half and slap a root on it.
Nice.
What if I gave you, do we need a moment to process?
Yes, we do need a moment to
Okay.
process.
You cut it in half and slap a root on it.
Slap a rooster.
Yes.
So any single number, you just cut it in half and put 2 on it?
Yep. Put root 2 on there.
If it was like 12, it'd be
That's a bit
If it was 12, it would be
6 root 2.
6 root 2.
Oh, that's
Isn't it awesome? Alright, if it was 24, what would it
4
be?
and 6,
12
4,
root 2.
no, 6, square root 4.
12 root 2. Cut it in half, slap a rooster on it.
See, you keep bringing up my eggs
How do
tonight.
you put your egg dye?
Because when he
The
dropped
weather was
it,
bad.
it hit the wall and then.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to actually apply it to a foldable and work out some problems. Foldable.
It's a strong word.
It is a strong word for something that's amazing. All right, so you're going to have it like this, okay? And then you fold it in half.
Whoa, what? Like this?
Hot dog, like two hot dogs.
Blair, did you copy it wrong?
What happened?
Blair.
We're just not going to have example 6. We're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember last year I said I didn't care and my teacher really looked at me and said, yes you do. You always care. And I was like, okay.
Alright, that's right.
Oh, Blair.
Just your
I think y'all's might be right. I think mine's wrong.
No, ours is wrong.
Okay, well, we'll just have to be upside down. We'll function. It took me 4 times to copy it, and I thought I got it right, and then I still didn't. I copied the wrong one.
We're gonna
At least it's not as bad as that other one that we had to remake the whole one.
and she couldn't stay afloat for the life of her.
That was making me very angry. All right, so what I want you to do, we're going to have to turn our notebook around, but we're going to be able to function. I want you to tape on this side and down here. What, darling? No, it's just going to take up one. Because it's going to be a square. So you fold like this, right? And then fold like this.
Oh, nice. That's the problem.
What if I folded it like this, but then that would be on the outside, and I don't want that on the outside, but then it would be right. All right, do you want example 6 to be on the outside so that it's right when you open it? Okay. All right, so fold it like this. I will. Have it like this, guys. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
And then fold this so we don't see special rights. Everybody's is, because we just had this conversation. All right. So does everybody have example 6 on the outside?
Yeah.
Okay. And that way, when we open on the inside, it's the correct way, and we don't have to turn around our notebook. Super sorry.
Whoa.
I swear I'll fix the ones for 30, 60, 90 so that they're folded right. You're welcome. So when you open it, you're going to open it like this, and then like this.
Like this.
What, darling? This is 53C. This is actually 53C. That was 53B. Right, 53A and B. This is 53C. Honey, we just had this conversation. That's A. B. I don't know why you have 2 on there. And how we're going to turn in our homework tonight is you're going to submit a picture of it on Google Classroom to me because I can't take any more papers.
Okay.
Okay, I can't handle it. We're not done yet, but I'm just letting you know how you're going to submit it. All right, are we ready? Hustle up, buttercups. All right, so open on the inside to 45, 45, 90, right here. This is always going to be x, and they're going to be the same. And your hypotenuse is always going to be x what? What did we write down on the previous page? Root 2, take a point. Always, always, always. When you have 45, 45, 90, it's x, x, x root 2. Always. Are we ready? Open it up. Let's look at example 1.
Our notes are all cute.
I'm glad that you like it. All right, example 1. Are we ready?
Yeah.
If this is 8, what's the length of ED? 8. Awesome. And then what would the length of our hypotenuse DF have to be? 8 root 2. Ta-da!
Where's he?
I know. Ham sandwich. All right, so what about example 2? What do you think?
N is 15.
15.
NE is 15? Okay, why? And you just take this part, right? Because that's your X. Awesome. And EW would be 15. Now remember, it's X, X, X root 2. So if you're trying to find X, if you're trying to find the side lengths, you just take the number in front of the radical. If it gives you the hypotenuse. Does everybody understand? Are we sure? Let's write this again here. X, X, X root 2. No, I know. Isn't it crazy? You could also make a chart that helps you if you want. Do you want to make a chart? Okay, this is what your chart would look like. So in EW, NW, X, X, X root 2, it gives you 15 root 2. So if it gives you the X, what is this X going to be?
15.
You can do it that way too.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, you don't have to, but you can. All right, let's look at number 3. If it gives you that AB is 7 root 2, what's BC? And here is where some lovely, lovely magic happens. We know that it's X times root 2, correct? So it's 7 root 2 times root 2. Now, can we multiply the 7 and 2 together?
Yeah.
No. But we can multiply the 2's together. What's 2 times 2?
4.
What's the square root of 4? What's 7 times 2?
Look at us go.
I know. Yes, give me just a second and let me go over this. So again, what I did was we know that if our side lengths are X, we're going to multiply X times the square root of 2. So I did 7 root 2 times the square root of 2. We can multiply the 2's together. 2 times 2 is?
4.
And the square root of 4 is? Dun, 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 dun. If I made a chart and I have AB, BC, AC, that's X, X, X root 2. So we have 7 root 2, 7 root 2, 14. Because you multiply it by 2 and get rid of the radical. Can you try example 4 without me?
Maybe. Oh no. Oh no, I'm very confused. Never mind.
Yes, you can. I want you to look back at your chart that we made. We just made a chart about this. I want you to look back at that chart. Open up your notebook. We just made a chart about what happens if the hypotenuse is a whole number. We just did this. So I want you to look back and use that to help you do example 4.
The face is danger.
Yes.
What the heck?
Mark Asbury.
It took me a minute. I got very
He's ordering stuff on Amazon, and I get an email about it. Board games.
Why?
Because we play board games.
You don't have a TV.
We have like 2 whole rooms full of board games.
That's great.
There are worse things that we can be doing.
I don't know.
All right, so what did y'all get? Oh my gosh, take a point. Remember, you cut it in half, slap a rooster on it.
My parents play video games. And it's really intense.
Are you ready for me to tell you what your homework is?
No.
Not particularly.
5 and 6. You have 2 whole problems. And I'm going to go ahead and post the place where you're going to submit it onto Google Classroom. You just take a picture of your answers and put it on there.
So we're done for today.
Yeah, I would go through and make sure you have all your makeup work done.
Before you go, can you,
Yes, darling.
wait, it's okay that we haven't done that.
What, darling?
This one's okay, right? Okay, do my homework.
Where?
On number 6.
No. Wait, you mean when you cut it in half?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Show me your project.
I love that you're waiting for till the last minute to do something that was